Former President Trump is lashing out after the New York Attorney General announced her office is pursuing a criminal investigation of the Trump Organization. In a statement posted to his website, Trump said in part, quote, "There is nothing more corrupt than an investigation that is in desperate search of a crime." The Attorney General's office is working with the Manhattan District Attorney and says the criminal probe is an expansion of a civil investigation that started in 2019. NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba joins us now. So, Monica, first of all, what more are we learning about the investigation and how these offices, the AG and the DA, will be working together?
Well, Joe, we're learning now this is really sort of about information sharing, and there are two new lawyers who have been detailed to work together from the New York Attorney General's office and the Manhattan DA to now collaborate on this, what was once a civil probe into the Trump Organization that has now ventured into the criminal. That doesn't mean, though, that there's any kind of smoking gun necessarily or any potentially new evidence that has moved this to that, but it's the opening of a lane where there could be some potential criminality here. And that question is really the one that remains very much unanswered. And legal experts are the ones to say, we don't yet know the implications, but this is certainly not good news for the former president, who is blasting this and calling it, quote, corrupt in a more than 900-word statement. So we still don't know a lot about this, but the fact that they came out and publicly said they were going to join forces and see what more they could uncover indicates there are potential new avenues here for investigation. Again, with the word criminal being the one that raises the most eyebrows, though we don't yet know what has pushed this forward, Joe.
Yeah, Monica, in that statement, the former president seemed to reference his longtime, now former attorney Michael Cohen, referring to him as a, quote, lying, discredited lowlife. We're hearing from Cohen. What's he saying about this investigation now?
And their relationship really has obviously soured over the last couple of years after he was one of the former president's closest confidants. But now Michael Cohen, in an interview on MSNBC last night, had some predictions for what he thinks will happen next. Take a listen.
I think Donald Trump is going to flip on all of them. What do you think about that, including his children? I really believe that Donald Trump is going to turn around. You always get shocked when I say things, Joy. I really believe that Donald Trump cares for only himself, and he realizes that his goose is cooked.
And of course, Michael Cohen did plead guilty to not telling the truth and has served time for that. So that's important to remember as well in all of this. But it's unclear where this goes. Of course, it's the former president's sons, and namely Eric Trump, who had been put in charge of the Trump Organization. And for his part, Eric Trump hasn't offered any detailed comment. The only thing we've really seen from allies of the Trump orbit is they are now trying to go after the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, who has made some comments in the past that were quite critical of Donald Trump while he was in office, guys.
Monica, the Trump Organization has been under civil investigation for 2 years. What could this criminal probe mean for the company now?
That's the million-dollar question, and this is really, we should remind people, it covers a huge range. This is not just about some of the certain properties and allegations of insurance fraud or tax fraud. There's a whole litany of other things that are being considered. So as the Trump Organization goes forward and tries to navigate, of course, we know the former president essentially lives at his own properties that are connected to the Trump Organization. There's plenty of implications there as well, but we simply just don't know how far-reaching this is. And again, we have to remind people there are a lot of parallel investigations here, and that's why the former president has so much exposure. In addition to this probe, of course, there are certain lawsuits related to his involvement in the January 6th insurrection and also in Georgia, of course, after he lost the November election. Joe.
A lot to keep our eyes on. Monica Alba, thank you so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.